Our story begins with a small basket gently floating down the Nile. Inside was baby Moses, hidden away by his mother to protect him from the Pharaoh's decree to harm all newborn boys. She placed him in God's hands, and he was soon found by the Pharaoh's own daughter. Moses grew up in the Pharaoh's palace, raised as an Egyptian prince with all the luxuries of royal life. But as he grew older, he felt a calling in his heart, a connection to his true Hebrew roots. One day Moses saw the hard labor his people endured under the Pharaoh's rule. He saw them suffering, and his heart filled with sadness and anger. He knew he couldn't ignore his people's pain any longer. Moses couldn't bear to see such injustice. After a confrontation with an Egyptian overseer, he fled Egypt, leaving behind the life he had known. He journeyed to the distant land of Midian, seeking peace and a new beginning. One day, as Moses tended his flock, he saw an unusual sight, a bush on fire, yet not burning up. He approached, and from the flames he heard the voice of God, instructing him to return to Egypt and free his people. With a heart filled with courage and faith, Moses returned to Egypt. He went to the Pharaoh and demanded, "Let my people go." The Pharaoh refused, setting the stage for a series of miraculous events that would change history. When Pharaoh refused, God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt. Water turned to blood, locusts covered the land, darkness fell for days, and more. Finally, after the last plague, Pharaoh relented and allowed the Hebrews to leave. Pharaoh soon changed his mind and sent his army after the Hebrews. At the shore of the Red Sea, with nowhere else to go, Moses lifted his staff, and God parted the waters, allowing them to cross safely. After their escape, Moses led the people to Mount Sinai, where God gave him the 10 Commandments, a set of divine laws to guide them in their new life. For years, Moses led his people through the desert wilderness, facing hardships, doubt, and tests of faith. Through it all, he encouraged them to trust in God's plan. Though Moses wouldn't enter the promised land himself, he was content knowing he had led his people to a better future. His legacy lived on through his teachings and his faith. And so ends the story of Prophet Moses, a man who listened to God's call and led his people with courage and faith. His journey reminds us to believe in a brighter future, no matter how challenging the path may seem.